Welcome to the Now, I'm Ashley Jenkins. After mostly noping out of E3 last year, except for this little indie game called Breath of the Wild, it looks like Nintendo's gearing up for an even bigger splash this year. Speaking with Fox News this weekend, Nintendo's COO Reggie Fils-Aimé said about this year's expo, E3 is always a big time for Nintendo. We look at each E3 as a unique opportunity to tell our story, and we're gonna have a big E3 this year. He went on to say, I'm not going to tell you all of the various games and all of our little secrets for E3, but I can tell you that E3 is going to be a major opportunity for us to showcase not only Nintendo Switch, but also content coming to Nintendo 3DS. So basically, they just really want you to know that they are still going to support the 3DS. And now to top all that off, we've got even more news about what some of Nintendo's future plans are for the Switch. Speaking with Japanese publication Ebitsu, Nintendo's Shinya Takahashi indicated that not only is the company working on new IPs for their handheld console, they're also developing unconventional titles that will make use of the machine's hardware. Maybe we'll see some of those at that big E3 showing. We can dream. We probably will. Destiny 2 leaked last week, and now we've got an official announcement from Bungie. Sort of. The developer tweeted a teaser image of Destiny 2 this morning, complete with the game's logo and an ominous image of the city, the last bastion of humanity, totally in flames. That lends a bit of credence to the Mega Block set for Destiny that leaked a few months back. The product description for that set mentioned the Cabal attacking the city. Still no word on the release date besides what we saw in last week's leaks, which indicate September 8th, but hopefully we'll get more soon. One thing many players are hoping for is the rumored PC version of Destiny 2, and now we've got more possible evidence that it exists. Over the weekend, one gamer from Germany tweeted a receipt from GameStop for his pre-order of a limited edition of Destiny 2 for PC. According to the information on the receipt, the Destiny 2 PC limited edition will run at €110 or $120. The date for the release is set for September 17th, although the poster claims GameStop said that was just a placeholder, so we'll see what date bears out. PC gamers have even more reason to celebrate than Destiny 2. This weekend, Blizzard finally announced the long-rumored StarCraft Remastered. The remastered real-time strategy classic will feature the huge expansion Brood War, along with updated 4K graphics, remastered audio, matchmaking, new artwork, cloud saves, Blizzard app connectivity, and maybe most importantly, 0 tweaks to the core gameplay. We don't have an official price point or release date just yet, but Blizzard did say it would be out sometime this summer, so we've at least got a window and it's not all that far away. PLAYERUNKNOWN'S Battlegrounds hit early access over the weekend on Steam and promptly tore up the Steam charts. Developer Bluehole said the game moved $11 million in 3 days, with 67,000 concurrent players at its peak. Now, if you haven't heard of this game before and you're wondering why it's so popular, the Last Man Standing shooter was created by the same designer who made the incredibly successful Battle Royale modes seen in Arma 3 and later H1Z1. As such, Bluehole decided to slap his name all over the game to help distinguish it from the pack of Battle Royale games out there, and it looks like it worked. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on the player base for those other games and whether or not users start flocking to Battlegrounds now that it's out and abandoning all those ones that are like, not Battlegrounds. Mass Effect Andromeda had a fairly rough opening week in terms of press and criticism, but those tribulations did not stop the sci-fi RPG from topping the charts, at least in the UK, which is the only region that we actually get data for this early. GfK Chart Track released some of its statistics from UK retailers, showing that Mass Effect Andromeda dethroned Ghost Recon Wildlands for the #1 selling game last week in the territory. According to them, Andromeda is now the 3rd biggest launch of the year, behind Wildlands and Horizon Zero Dawn. Well, that's all good news for BioWare and EA. They might want to put a cap on the champagne because it looks like Andromeda's week 1 numbers are worse than Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. So that puts Andromeda in 3rd place for the Mass Effect series, meaning it only beat Mass Effect 1 at launch. And that's even rougher when you consider Mass Effect 2 was a timed exclusive for Xbox 360 and PC. However, it should be noted that GfK is only looking at physical copies sold in the UK, so this story could be different when it comes to digital sales, plus sales in other territories. But since EA keeps all those digital numbers to themselves, this is really all we have to go on, unless, if you want to change that story up, let us know what a huge success it was, just release those numbers. We're waiting. Now, we got to look at the new Justice League trailer over the weekend, and it's Well, it's still pretty dark and gritty because it's DC and Zack Snyder. In the trailer, we see Batman and a Wonder Woman introducing most of the rest of the team, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash, but curiously, still no mention of Superman, who we presume is also part of the squad, since, as Brian likes to say, he could solo the entire Justice League. Now, we do see Batman spout a very Iron Man-esque line, I guess trying to make a joke, when Flash asks him what his superpower is. Spoiler, apparently it's being rich. Oh, and Aquaman rides on the top of the Batmobile, which is pretty awesome. I think we all agree that, honestly, that Aquaman is the highlight of the trailer. He is gonna win a lot of new Aquaman fans. We'll see how this all relates to the actual film though, because Justice League hits theaters November 17th. Now, speaking of superhero movies, this next item, a little bit weird fantasy casting. Apparently there was a big star interested in playing the role of Cable in the upcoming Deadpool sequel. Does the name Brad Pitt ring a bell? Yep. Apparently, Collider reported that both Fox and Pitt were stoked about the possibility, but the role is still in flux, so things could change. It's also been reported that Michael Shannon, who you might remember as playing General Zod, has been rumored for the role, ditto for David Harbour from Stranger Things. We'll see how it ends up shaking out, but Cable apparently is expected to play a major role in the movie. And plus, if it's as fun as the first movie, there's no wonder a bunch of people want to jump on board. Yeah, at the very least, you have a really good time filming, right? Now, we're learning more about the new Venom spin-off movie, which features the alien parasite from the comic books. GameSpot reports that the movie will start production this fall, according to one industry casting site, and it's scheduled for an October 2018 release. And it's categorized as an action horror sci-fi film, so it might be a little bit darker than other superhero movies you're used to seeing, unless they're DC. Which makes sense because it is a movie about an evil alien parasite that turns its host into a member of KISS. No word yet on if it will tie into the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming movie, but we'll see. Speaking of which, we're going to get a trailer for Spider-Man tomorrow, so get excited. The reboot is set to hit theaters on July 7th, and the poster they released is pretty cool. Now, the new Power Rangers movie brought in more than $40 million last weekend in the US, but it's safe to say the movie didn't do nearly as well in Russia. PS Mag reports that the movie was slapped with the country's strictest rating, 18+, after conservative legislators complained that one of the Lady Rangers likes other ladies, which is a little bit odd because the current blockbuster movie, Beauty and the Beast, has dialogue that suggests one of its characters is gay, but only got a 16+ rating. Come on, double standard, Russia. Give the Rangers a chance. At any rate, now only viewers over the age of 18 will be allowed into the theater in Russia to watch a Power Rangers movie. Box office gold. Although I would think that most of the people going to see this are people who watched the show when they were younger, they're now all grown up, so chances are most of its fan base is over 18. Maybe it didn't hurt it that bad. We'll wait and see when all the numbers come in. Now, it looks like another robot has got his driver's license revoked. Uber has suspended its self-driving car program after one of its vehicles crashed in Arizona, according to Reuters. There were no injuries in the crash, which happened after a driver of another vehicle, a human driver, let's be clear, failed to yield to the Uber vehicle while making a turn, Reuters reported. Still, Uber is putting the brakes on self-driving programs in Arizona, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco while they investigate the crash. This is not the first time a self-driving car has been involved in a crash. Actually, a driver of a Tesla Model S car operating in autopilot mode was killed in a crash with a truck in Florida last year. And a Google self-driving vehicle involved in a crash last year in California for striking a bus while trying to navigate around an obstacle. So, yeah, while self-driving cars may be the future, it is pretty clear they're still working on their learner's permits. We all have to go through them, robots. Don't even worry about it, you'll get there. Your insurance premiums are gonna go through the roof though. All right, that's all the news we have for you guys today. Let us know what you think of all the stories in the comments below. And to make sure you get news from every corner of the internet, like this video. If you're new here, subscribe to the Know. Now we gotta look at new Justice League's... Why? Why do I do this to myself? Speaking with Fox News this weekend, Nintendo COO Reggie Fils-Aimé said about this year's E3 Expo, E3... It's not an E3 Expo. Speaking with...